In preparation for Bitcoin 2025, many are gathering. Take a look at these fresh coin announcements from American David Sachs. Also, Bohe has some news to share with us. Robert Mitchnik, a financial advisor at BlackRock, will be speaking today. He recommends allocating 1 to 2% of your wealth to cryptocurrency. Along with hearing from BlackRock, we will investigate Thailand and other locations that they purchase goods and services using cryptocurrencies while they are there. I have an interesting news story that covers this and much more, folks. Let's take a closer look at this. Since I've heard that Bitcoin is the wave of the future when it comes to digital currency, I figured I should educate myself on the subject. If Bitcoin is indeed the currency that financial institutions will utilize, then where do these people receive their information? So I asked artificial intelligence, could you give me an example of a bank or other financial company that uses Bitcoin right now for foreign exchange, steady coins, or tokenization? You won't expect the answer. All right, let's attempt to understand the situation. In the nation's capital, things appear to be shifting rapidly at the moment. A significant shift has occurred from, I never imagined I'd be a part of this government, as I mentioned before. Before I knew it, I was merely a Silicon Valley techie hosting a dinner party. Now I'm assisting in the fight for this proposal in the nation's capital. Looking ahead and removing all the obstacles to private sector innovation has been an incredible and entertaining experience. DC being a part of it all and seeing everything come together, though, has been really great. David, I really appreciate that. To think that any other president could have handled even a fraction of these responsibilities or presided over any administration would be a stretch. In addition, it is quite awesome that we still have slightly more than 100 days left. The fact that we've only been here for approximately with over 3.5 years left, I have no doubt that we will do incredible things in the years ahead. I mean, come on, your plans with Bitcoin are going to be just mind-blowing. Tell me how you intend to put Bitcoin to use. Before I bring anything up, let's keep on. Together with Bohe and David Sachs, this individual is advocating for the number of Americans using Bitcoin will increase. The two men barely mentioned Bitcoin when we were talking about adoption of crypto in America, which is what I meant to imply. I'm happy that we're embracing crypto in general, but I really hope that we can all move past the idea that Bitcoin solves all our financial woes and start understanding it for what it is and why it matters. This message is quite confusing for a lot of folks. Allow me to demonstrate the infinitely superior nature of Bitcoin. That is why, as I've mentioned before, it is referred to as gold in the digital realm. Another thing you might have observed is that they have shifted their focus from Bitcoin being the future of technology to it being a means to save money, tender, such as electronic currency. Right now, that's the message they're trying to give to everyone. We want as much as the US can get, knowing that we are unique and formed our decision to craft the SPR in a certain manner. Its intrinsic worth is high because it is obviously a good and not a security. It comes from a pure source, David would say. Our working group is making great strides to identify methods to increase funding without negatively impacting the budget, and we should utilize it for the benefit of the American people. How much do you want is my go-to response whenever a reporter presses me for a price. A lot of times today I will answer, that's a very silly question. In response to that question, whatever it takes, we're going to get it. I'm still around, but I believe we recognize their uniqueness through their differences in how we established the National Store for Digital Assets and the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. In the SPR, we also made it clear that we intend to acquire further Bitcoin and will not sell any Bitcoin that the U.S. government may possess. Very well, they do possess certain items. Despite having a digital asset storage and a blockchain-based strategic reserve, they are neither in a position nor interested in seeking out ways to invest in other digital assets. Adding it to Bitcoin is their top priority, not fostering innovation in the United States. When considering the next 100 million users, keep in mind that Bitcoin, what is it? Let's see how long these trades actually take to process. Perhaps it hasn't occurred to Bohe or David Sachs. Making my voice heard and having this investigated has been a top priority of mine. What if tomorrow 20, 50, or even 100 million people got out of bed and decided to use the Bitcoin network to make a single transaction? Coffee might be purchased in such manner. Lunchtime or some such event. Oh, I almost said tokenization, but apparently that's off limits.
It will require 10 million deal hours to complete. There would be a completion of 10 million deals every 16 to 38 days. 50 million deals would close every 82 to 92 days, and 100 million deals would close every 16 weeks. That's around half a year. One may reasonably wonder, what about Layer 2 at this point? Howdy, Guru. Even if it's limited, Layer 2 can be helpful. Bitcoin isn't being considered as a benefit token by large banks due to the lengthy process involved. I inquired with AI about the banks that are truly utilizing Bitcoin for cross-bundle foreign exchange, because their interest is solely focused on Bitcoin as a means of storing value. Tokenized financial assets like Bitcoin for cross-border money transfers are not really used by many large institutions. Businesses are increasingly turning to stablecoins, tokenization, and alternative platforms. The actual question was how, but this means that 62% of banks are collaborating with fintechs to improve cross-border payments. An abundance of financial institutions engage in it. To top it all off, you remained silent when I asked which banks to mention. It seems you're correct. No major banks or other financial organizations utilize Bitcoin primarily for cross-border money transfers or asset tokenization. Even though it might save you a ton of money, major banks aren't considering Bitcoin as a viable option. When individuals claim that Bitcoin is the largest business distraction ever, they are referring to this: Bitcoin, not the next XRP, XLM, Algorand, HAR, or Chainlink, is what they want you to purchase. The powerful in the financial sector would rather you not receive anything at all and instead invest all of your money in Bitcoin. Cryptocurrency in general is susceptible to a great deal of manipulation, but Bitcoin specifically makes it possible to transport $1 billion or any other amount around the globe on a portable media device, record, or flash drive. Well, that's pretty much it. Your digital wealth.
All right then, can you tell me what has transpired since you proposed that idea? Does anyone still use it? What kinds of potential purchasers are taking a look at it? How can we persuade individuals to invest between 1% and 2% of their wealth in that concept? I believe I have adequately explained model portfolios and how they benefit some of you. Our primary objective is to provide financial advisors with the tools they need to construct more prudent client portfolios. Because of this, model investments have evolved into highly practical resources. One of our most valuable assets comes from the model portfolios that BlackRock creates and then distributes to our clients who are wealth managers. In February of this year, you are correct. One of these funds started holding Bitcoin as a 1% to 2% holding a little over 3 months ago. This is only a sample account with several settings, as you are aware. A single thing wasn't responsible for that significant shift.